Now, I'm not really a PvP player, but I can appreciate a really good shotgun, especially if that shotgun is useful against light art enemies. The Il Toro honestly feels really good to shoot, no matter what you're aiming at. But with 4 different mod slots and more than a dozen different options, which of them actually make any meaningful difference and combine into something that's much better than the vanilla Il Toro? So in this video, we're going to actually look at the Il Toro as a whole, how it compares to other weapons, what stats do and don't matter, which attachments work and don't work, and recommend both a best loadout setup and a budget one. Let's dive in. As you might expect, the Il Toro is a weapon of extremes. It has the highest single shot damage in the game, but to balance that out, it's pump action, with only the 15th fastest firing rate. Despite this, it still reaches a whopping 975 relative DPS, beaten out only by the Volcano, which wins out due to a faster firing rate despite less damage per shot. Again, relative DPS is the damage per shot times the firing rate, and shouldn't be taken as a representation of actual DPS. And of course, the Il Toro also has the lowest range in the entire game at only 20 out of the 80 maximum. As a whole, you should expect it to perform like any other shotgun. It's really not complicated. Before we dive into the optimizations, however, I always like to highlight the importance between a newly crafted weapon and a fully upgraded one. Unlike a lot of the other weapons, which only see improvements to their reload speed or firing rate, the Toro actually gets more shot capacity added to the magazine tube, letting you hold 3 additional rounds before needing to reload. Since this is my first time running into a gun where the ammo capacity changes when upgrading, I've kept the testing at 5 rounds each, which is what you get at the base, to see the overall change to reload and firing rate. As you can see, it's a total of about 2 seconds faster, which is roughly a 21% improvement. But that's not the full picture, of course. Given how impactful the upgrade is on the magazine, it's definitely something you want to do. The good news is it's not super expensive, only requiring mechanical components and a handful of gun parts at a low cost of about 9,000 coins. We went over this with the Pharaoh. But one of the things about a gun that fires 1 round at a time, even somewhat quickly like this shotgun, is that recoil matters far, far less than normal, because you can re-aim while waiting for the animation and the recoil to finish. In my tests, you can see that the angled grips do basically nothing and should be thrown in the trash. Vertical grips do have some good improvements, but are ultimately unnecessary unless you're running something like the lightweight stock, which increases your recoil even further. As you've probably seen by now, by the time you can aim and fire again, the reticle has already fully reset, which means the stable stocks give you essentially nothing and can be avoided. But the attachment you really want to focus on are the shotgun chokes, because they reduce the bullet spread of each shot, causing you to be more accurate overall. Take a look at just how much tighter the spreads get as I upgrade these to each successive choke. This may be one of those situations where you actually want to run a blue mod on your weapon. did also test the kinetic converter and lightweight stock as well. And while I will say there are benefits to using these, I largely consider them overkill. The former gives you faster pump cycling at the cost of some recoil, and the latter gives you really good snap draw times for PvP moments, but definitely needs to be paired with a vertical grip to offset the 50% increased recoil. I also did my usual testing with the extended magazines to see how much firing time each one gives you. When it comes to these, more is always better, especially since reloading one shot at a time takes so long. A vanilla Toro can only fire for about 6.5 seconds, whereas one with the blue extended magazine can go for almost double of that, which is definitely nothing to scoff at. And finally, here's a look at the silencer, though you should basically never run it given the importance of the shotgun chokes. So what's the best build? Personally, I'm throwing on a blue shotgun choke and a blue extended mag and calling it a day. Like I said, the top of the line builds can absolutely run things like a lightweight stock with a grip or a kinetic converter. But unless you have the crafting blueprint and are rich on materials on top of that, it's probably not worth striving for most people. And yes, that does mean I'm leaving the grip and stock slots entirely empty. You can get some minor gains by reducing recoil with a vertical grip, but it's by no means required and the benefit is minimal unless you have something that is increasing your recoil elsewhere. For the budget folks, just downgrade to the green shotgun choke and mag, and it'll get you a good percentage of the way to the optimal build. If you want a quick overview of all of the attachments, benefits, and reasonings, I've thrown together this tier list for you to review. Shout out to the folks who asked for it to come back after my kettle video skipped out on it. I'll make sure to include it going forward. If this video helped you out, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and let me know in the comments what your favorite Il Toro build is. For now though, I think that's it. I'll see you next time.